The haunting hour is at hand. Ghostly haunting since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creaky floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. Orbs rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
People pulling trickery, it's a circus on the street. Fakes we see right through you, your disguise is obsolete. Don't expect these ladies to just sit and watch you plead. When you make a fool of yourself, we're the ones you gotta heed. Lies are getting thicker like a spider's tangled web. Truth is out for vengeance now, the fear you gotta shed. Ladies, bring the thunder, you should know just what we said. No more games and trickery, your facade is pretty dead. We see you now with shifty eyes, your plan to mislead. Taking down the walls you built, behind which you deceive. Pop our lives like bubbles, time for mass to take their leave. When you're acting foolish, you know we will make you grieve. Played your hand so badly, now we're on to all your tricks. Every lie you whisper, just a ghost we can't dismiss. No more time for games, now better fix what you can't fix. Cause when shadows scatter, only light can do the mix. Spooky shadows whisper, but they can't unsettle us. Fakes fall apart like paper in the rain, they turn to dust. Pulled the wool right over, but now that game's a bust. Ladies fighting back now, fear belongs to those unjust. We see you now with shifty eyes, your plan to mislead. Taking down the walls you built, behind which you deceive.
Hello, hello. Why don't you guys give me a slap? I was playing the wrong intro in the beginning. It tells you how tired I am. I just don't have my shit together. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is going to be great fun tonight. We're diving into the world of Wicca. And we're going to bring everybody on after I give a quick shout out. Hello, hello, Mr. Bill. Hello, Michael. And hopefully everybody will pop in and not miss this because this is truly a great time to get educated on the mysterious world of Wiccan. Let's bring in my co-host Carla and our guest Susan. Hello, hello, ladies.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
I'm playing the other one. I'm thinking, wait a minute, it's Sunday. I'm playing the wrong one.
Cute.
It's
I like
okay.
that one. It's awesome.
That's Carla's creation. I think it's adorable. Excuse me. What did you think, Carla? I changed. Our heads are flickering in
I
and out.
saw that.
Yeah.
Looks like our speakers are blowing.
Right. I thought that was pretty cute.
It is cute. Yep.
Hopefully, everybody will pop in and we'll get to learn a lot. If not, they'll have to just rewatch it. That's all.
Oh.
That's just the way it goes. So, what have you ladies been up to this fine weekend?
Not much this weekend. Nope.
Basically taking care of 2 toddlers, my kittens.
Oh, your kittens.
Yeah. It's funny. Everybody's saying, "Oh, you should make a YouTube channel for your kittens," and I'm like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, we got time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have enough to do. You're gonna have to throw a thing out about the cats too. So
I know.
Yeah, I'm destroying stuff.
It's just like I had people asking the other night about, oh, do you have Discord and do you have this? Did you have that?
Oh.
I've got them all. I don't know how any of them work.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have time to get into any of it. So
I have them too, and I don't use it.
I don't get it.
I don't have time.
No, because you're posting, you're doing the YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are doing videos. I'm not even doing my videos yet. Once you do videos and then, the editing garbage and then posting on Facebook and then, you're having guests or being on somebody's show.
It's a lot of work. It is. A lot of people don't understand how much work it is.
Yep. Oh, Susan.
So it's just crazy.
I know.
So, all right, we're going to just dive right into it. Susan, give us the definition of what Wicca is.
So basically, Wicca is a modern religion of pagan, basically, and it cycles around the seasons. It actually focuses on nature as well, and it's actually before pre-Christian times. So, which is what it has been documented, and when they found out it was actually before pre-Christian times. So it's I figure that it's mainly around nature focuses.
Okay, can you fill people in because they associate Wiccan or Wicca with Satanism. Could you explain the difference to everybody?
So basically, so Wicca is, again, nature, herbs, crystals. Some people look at Wiccan differently. Like you have some Wiccans that basically do spells, some that don't do spells, do herbs or crystals, work with crystals. So there are different types of Wiccans. The difference is pagan is more towards spells, mind you, and Wicca is more towards like the earth and nature.
Right.
So that's the big difference.
And that's good. But also, you guys also use the pentagram symbol.
Yeah.
Could you tell the history of the pentagram and actually what does that symbol stand for?
I don't exactly know, I don't know the history of the actual symbol, but it actually, a lot of pagan religion actually uses it for, there's been stories that they use it for conjuring the devil and things like that. So, but a lot of people also, they think of it also as a symbol of protection. So it depends on who you ask for that, but basically everybody focuses that symbol to be, working with the devil or conjuring up the devil, which isn't necessarily true.
Right. So,
Right. I think they use the star inverted for Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Wiccan, the star represents the 5 elements because you've got earth, fire, wind, water, and
Water.
self.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the 5th one is, the self. And then the circle around it's just all the balance of all of those elements together. I think that's what the circle is around the star. But yeah, people just associate it with evil when
Yeah, the
they don't
pentagram.
understand.
right. Oh, because the minute you see it, you're like, oh, everybody goes, oh shit, bad news. But
Yeah, I love the
Exactly.
pentagram actually. I think it's good.
so it's yeah. As far as Wicca or Wiccan is
Mhm.
going, it's a symbol of pretty much the elements, the universe, and the planet as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it's good that we straightened that up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Hi, Two Play, welcome. And guys, any questions that you want to ask, go ahead and ask. Susan will answer them to the best of her ability. As far as what you practice, do you do more herb and nature related type things? As far as, I mean, I don't see you casting spells on people.
No, no. So basically, I follow the moon phases as well. So like a full moon would mean, for to charge up things, like if I want to charge up crystals, or if I want to do like a homeopathic like remedy, like a hair potion, things like that. So the full moon is for charging. A new moon is for new changes. Like if you want, like, to bring something new into your life. That's what a new moon's for. And then in between the phases is something that you want to get rid of. So I do use a lot of I focus on the moon as well. And I also, I do work with herbs, but I have to tell you, I work more with crystals than I do with herbs. And I do like stay tuned. Like I constantly go outside and do nature walks, and I feel like, I want my ears to be like bat ears. Like you have to stay in tune with the earth as well, because everything is living. So the trees, how the trees move, and and how the what it is outside, what the temperature is, and you just have to keep tuned of nature, definitely.
Right, right. A Two Play. This is actually Carla and I. We usually poke fun at other videos of pretty much the fakers, or it's pretty much just whatever we decide to dig up and talk about. But tonight we are doing a Wicca special with Lady Victoria Darkwood.
Mhm.
Just trying to educate everybody on the mysteries of the Wiccan religion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also do earthing?
I do as well. Yes.
I find that it actually does. You do feel better.
I do.
When
definitely.
You're walking barefoot on the grass,
Yeah,
or
yeah, it feels great. I actually have one of those barefoot shoes on, the type of sneakers, and now they're actually like considered like barefoot, like you're walking on your bare feet. And I love doing that as well, because it really feels like you're walking on the earth. It really does. Like those.
Right, yeah. That's, I always loved. Oh, I still prefer to be barefoot.
Yep,
And
definitely.
the minute I'm outside, I'm running through the grass barefooted, and it's you do feel a difference. It's like you're being recharged actually from the ground.
You do. And it feels so good to actually feel the earth in between your toes and like the grass. I love walking on like fresh grass, like on a spring or summer day.
Oh
It's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
We used to have a guy that lived down the street from him. He had the best grass in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It was dark green. It was thick like a carpet. And every time I'd walk that way, I'd take my shoes off and walk through his grass.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it'd be like 90 degrees out, and that grass would be so cool and just, so nice to walk on. It was really fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Ian says that the pentagram is heavily associated with, I don't even want to try to pronounce that. I'll probably butcher it.
Kabbalah. Yeah.
Is it Kabbalah? Is that how they spell it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and was polarized through much of the Golden Dawn stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, that's
Interesting.
okay. Yeah. So I just, yeah, we're all learning here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when
Hey,
hi double
Michael.
K. So you say you do a lot of work with crystals. Explain what kind of crystals you use, and what are their purposes.
So there's so many crystals out there and they mean so many different things. I use 3 or 4 crystals primarily because I use the tourmaline, and I use obsidian. So I use those two basically, when I go out on investigations as well. I use those two, but I love using the rose quartz and the regular quartz because to me, you could use them for anything. Um, so I don't have to use the many different types of crystals. Although if you have a specific thing that you need to, like whether or not, you need focus or things like that, there are specifically different crystals and the list goes on and on and on. But basically rose quartz, and regular quartz is really good for everything. So
So
those are my 4.
those are your 4. You said you also
Yep.
use obsidian. What does the obsidian do?
So obsidian, tourmaline, is basically an obsidian is basically the same thing. The only thing tourmaline focuses more on protection and negative activity coming towards you. So the obsidian is more like guidance, energy, and also as protection. So a lot of people use the tourmaline when they go to like investigations and stuff like that than obsidian. Like I have an obsidian on, like that really like round stone that I wear all the time.
Right.
That's obsidian because I feel like it gives me energy as well. And it's really good for empaths as well to get energy. So I use that.
If somebody is having like a specific problem, let's see, I don't know, maybe depression or just not feeling so hot about themselves, what kind of stone would you recommend?
So so I go to Tiger's Eye. That's really good. And then I also go to, God, there's so many out there. Definitely Tiger's Eye, I would say. The opal's good as well. But each crystal focuses on different things. But if you're unsure, again, fall back to the rose quartz or the quartz because they're good for everything, I say.
Right.
You know?
Hi, Shane. Shane says sunstone.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for stopping in, Andrew. We're happy to have you. He says he wears obsidian wolf tooth to ward away negativity.
Yep.
It doesn't ward off negativity in my instance. Oh, geez. I know it's terrible. Everybody, if you can, Andrew has a GoFundMe up. Please donate.
Okay.
He could use some help right now.
He needs help really bad. He got the shaft big time. And so if you can, please go over and donate what you can, even $1, anything. So yeah, as far as like, yeah, okay. Well, actually sunstone. Yeah, that's great. I never, moonstone. What is basically moonstone used for?
Moonstone is basically, and the thing is like these different crystals, they specifically have references to them. But I just go to how I feel about them as well. So for me, moonstone is basically like a nature, like a healing stone, things like that. Which is, and they come in many, many different colors. You could get like red moonstone, you could get blue moonstone. It depends on where you get them as well.
Right.
So they're really pretty. I do like moonstone because of the different.
One of my favorites.
They're really pretty because you could get 2 different tones and stuff.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
really pretty.
Really nice. Welcome, Al. Hi, Pomp. Hey, Wayne. Hi. Not a problem, Andrew. We're here. We're a community. We're here to help.
Mm-hmm.
So if I
Oh,
just put it out
thanks.
there, just you guys, please help him out if you can.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely needs the help.
Hmm.
Two Ply says, do we say Wicca or is it rude to say witch? I do not know what. I do not know. That is why I ask.
Well, we're
Excuse me.
considered witches. It's, Wicca is considered a type of a witch. Um, but it's towards, I wouldn't say it's a white witch, but I would say it's more of like a naturist. But
Mm-hmm.
we are considered, I would say we are considered witches,
Mm-hmm.
but not like
In a
witch.
bad
I
way.
mean,
Yeah.
in a
Right.
bad way.
Right. A good witch.
So
Yeah.
Susan, oh, hey,
Good
Susan, you're a
witches.
witch. Do you say thank you?
Hmm. Yeah,
I've
I
been
do.
called
I
that.
said, oh,
All
thank
right.
you.
All
It's a
right.
compliment,
Hello. Yeah, I've been called
Yeah.
witch a lot, but I don't take it in a bad way because I don't worship Satanism. You know,
Right. Well, because like I said, they always connect witches, Wiccan, Wicca, all that
yeah.
with
See, I was gonna
Satanism.
ask Susan about that one. Like,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
how do you educate people the difference between it? You know, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're a Wiccan, you're a witch, you're bad, you don't believe in God, you worship the devil and all." And it just goes like straight to that. And it's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
and that's not true as well, because we also do believe in God and goddesses all
Mm-hmm.
connect together. So we do believe in like gods, goddesses. It's not like we believe in like the devil or anything like that. But it's hard because there is like people that do black spells. There are voodoo, and there's a whole bunch of different types of
Mm-hmm.
witches that do black magic.
Yeah.
So I try, when anybody asks me, I just try to educate them as much as possible. You know,
Right. So would you consider yourself a white witch?
I do. Yeah, I actually do, even though I'm in black.
Right.
Um, but I do consider myself. I consider myself like kind of like everything together. I'm a Wiccan, and then the empath part of me, and I do believe in the god and goddesses. Like, whether or not I believe in Jesus, not necessarily, but I do believe in a higher being. um so it's like everything together, so I don't, I'm not just one specific thing.
So okay, that's great. Two Play says, so y'all deal more with healing stuff and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's all nature and
Mm-hmm.
healing and good energy.
Yep.
Um, and then we've got Shane says, which is known, no, black and white. One does not go without the other. I am a
I'm a
gray
gray
one.
one. Yes, yes. And I truly believe that. I do. You could be a little bit of both, which is what a lot of people are now, is both combined. Like myself, even though I portray myself, even when people see me, they say, "Oh my God, you worship the devil." Not necessarily, because this is just the outer part of me. The interior part, I'm actually all white.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do believe you're both at the same time. Yes, as one.
Oh, okay. So that's a good explanation. Black spells go against karma, Al says. But that's the difference. I think that's why people
Yep.
they see black or white, because usually, white witch is positive,
Mm-hmm.
where they
Yeah.
figure the black witch is, the dark magic.
Yeah, yeah. And like I told this story before, Laura, when I was on your show, is that I actually was, I really did it previously, curses and spells, etc. But it did come back at me. That's why I wanted to kind of like cleanse myself and get back into the practices of Wicca, because if you go down that path and not realize what you're doing, it'll come bite you in the ass. It really will.
Okay. Me being, I'm gonna, play the devil's advocate here. Do you actually think that stuff works?
I do. It actually
Mm-hmm.
worked for me. I actually, and it was funny. Like I did a couple of spells on a couple of my boyfriends, and this was like years ago. And I did a binding spell on them,
Oh,
and yeah, it really worked to the point that in order to cut off the binding spell, you basically, I had the doll, and then you take like a piece of like clothing or whatever belongs to them and put it in this glass jar, and then you put their name, and then you put a needle through the doll, and then you put it in the glass jar, the mason jar, and you seal it up, and basically you're binding that person to you. In order to break the spell, what you have to do is actually loosen up the lid and actually throw the whole jar in the ocean, and that breaks the spell.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I know that very well. But I was also doing other things that weren't so good as well. And, on top of that, I didn't know how to use the Ouija board. So I opened up a can of worms with that as well. And yes, I do believe in the Ouija board, even though no one, I hear all the time that it's not true and it's just a board game. I had first on experiences with it. I didn't know how to use it. I brought something in that I shouldn't have. And that's, while I was doing that, I was also doing the black magnet. So the combination kind of became unbalanced. So I'm glad, I just reached out at the time. That's when my spirit guides came in and helped me out through it.
good.
But I do believe in black magic. I really do.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Shane. We appreciate it.
Hi,
Hope you sleep
Foxfire.
well. I'm trying to get caught up, guys. Here, let's see. Al
you're
says the
okay.
devil hates you because you are made in the likeness and image of God. Well, exactly. That's why the devil would hate us. But actually, we're not really talking about him. We're talking about the ins and outs of the Wicca beliefs. Let's see here. Hi, Foxfire. Welcome, welcome. Let me get caught up. See. Let's see. Your live stream gets the poop emoji. Okay. Thanks a lot. Whatever.
Cute.
We've got some new people in here, so welcome, guys. Okay.
Yeah,
Here we've got a question. What's your favorite holiday? I know Carla's.
Oh, it has to be Halloween. Come on now. It's my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite. It's just because it's fall, if the crisp air, I love seeing the leaves fall off the tree and the color changes, and it's just energizing as well. Love it. Absolutely love it. I love decorating. I feel recharged as well.
So yeah, fantastic. Hello, Victor.
Hello, Victor.
Nice to see you in here. Explain to us what are pretty much the rituals that you guys go through, and what is the specific reason you would do certain rituals?
So, I mean, there's a solstice, and there's the seasons that we go. A lot of people could practice by themselves. A lot of people have covens that they get together certain times of the year during the solstice or the equinox as well. So for me, I mean, a lot of people, they just practice, like earth, like just trying to, form as a group, because you get a lot of energy for participating with each other and becoming as one. To put it out there, I mean, it could be a basic ritual, like, earth related, of course. But it could just be, basic, praising the earth, and, that we have to be thankful of what we have. So it could be, like when winter comes, or it could be, the seasons change and things like that. It could be like different covens and different spells.
Okay. So, but for as far as holidays, what are the general holidays that you guys celebrate?
So basically, for me, it's definitely Halloween. Usually there's the blood moon, I believe, comes out which is basically the same as a new moon, but it has more energy in it. So I don't really have a coven, but I typically just energize myself during Halloween. And I do between the solstice, which is between, it's in the winter. We just passed one. I would say it's between like November and December, around there, probably right before Christmas. We celebrate that as well. And what I basically do is I go outside and I get like some acorns and some maple leaves and some tree branches. And I create like a little, and then I use some oils and I create like a little type of like a bowl. And then I stick a candle in the middle and I celebrate that. So there's different, solstice and equinox throughout, the year. And so that we typically get together, but I just do it by myself.
Okay. My next question is, when you're recharging your crystals,
Mm-hmm.
what is the process? Do you just put them on the porch, or do you put them in something, or?
So the best time to recharge a crystal is definitely on the full moon. So what you do is you would just like, I usually take my crystals in my hand. I say a little chant with the white candle for energy. And what you want to do is you don't want to blow out the candle yourself. You want to use I forgot what you call it, but you put it's like a little cylinder that you put on the candle, and it goes out on its own. And then what you do also is the night of the full moon, it is best if you have an outdoor porch to like actually leave it underneath the full moon. But in my case, if you live in an apartment and you don't have that, I just leave it on my windowsill and kind of like leave like my window cracked. Just so we could get the air and stuff for the full moon. It's not ideal, but that's the best I could do here.
Right. I've heard that some people put their crystals in a bowl of sea salt.
Sea salt, that's to cleanse it. So if you get them from like a vendor, or you don't know where they've been, or if you get them from a store, you don't know what energy's on them. So what you want to do is you want to bring them home and kind of like give them like a sea salt bath, and then rinse them off, and then give them your energy. Because you don't know, like when you have crystals coming in, you don't know where they come from. So it may have residual energy on them from someone else. And what you also do, you can also do that with yourself. If you feel that you have like, I don't know, like you're not all in all, like you feel like really, I don't know, like you just feel like you need to cleanse yourself, you could do that as well. You could put sea salt. You could either, if you take a shower, you could just put it on a damp cloth, and just kind of like completely like just wash yourself with the cloth from head to toe and then rinse it off. Or if you're taking a hot bath, you could put it like in your bath and just soak in it, and that's like a cleansing ritual as well.
Okay. Yeah, they would be more comfortable than just trying to squeeze your ass into a bowl of salt.
Yes.
So,
Yes, definitely.
it'd be a really big bowl. But Two Ply wants to know what's the best stone out there? Like, which one is like a multi-stone?
The rose and the rose quartz, I would say. I'm not the quartz. I would say the regular quartz is definitely is the best stone that will give you energy, will protect you, is for health. It's for everything that you could ask for.
So yeah, that's your multi.
So that would be the multi-purpose. That's basically all I really use, besides the obsidian and the tourmaline. I use the rose quartz and I use the quartz.
Fantastic. Supernatural Panda says, she goes, I'm a Norse pagan myself. Is there a difference between that and regular pagan?
I don't specifically know what a North is. The pagan, so the difference between, so Wiccan is a modern form of pagan religion. The only difference is, again, that Wiccan is for nature, pagans more towards like spells and things like that. But also Wiccan could go into that as well. So a lot of people, like Wiccan kind of falls into pagan, but pagan more goes into like the spells and things like that.
Right. Yeah. She says yes. Norse. I'm probably totally saying that wrong.
Norse,
Pagan
Norse
is
pagan.
different. Yes.
She means Nordic, so she
Right.
probably believes in Odin and Loki and things like that.
So
like,
it's more Viking.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm Norwegian, but I'm not Norse pagan. I'm pagan, but I don't believe in like Odin and all that stuff. I don't worship Odin and things like that.
Right. Okay. She says, yeah, they
Yeah.
don't really do spells per se.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, that's
So
great.
that's kind of cool. So they're also kind of earthbound as well, but they believe in different types of gods. That's cool.
Yep. Like Freya and all that.
Hmm.
So.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for the education. She says
That's
Viking
cool.
is a job title, not a people. Okay.
Yeah.
She's
well,
actually right. She is right.
Yeah.
But that's what we've always done. We've always referred to that group of people as Viking.
mhm.
Let's see here. Tupai wants to know which stone is the rarest. That's a good question.
I would say I wouldn't necessarily say it's the rarest because I don't know what the rarest stone is, but it's you have to be careful with where you get your crystals. I know that opal, a lot of people try to sell opal and they end up getting glass. So I know opal is hard to
Hang on,
find,
guys.
like a true
True
opal
opal.
is hard to find.
Actually, I don't know if anybody's ever heard this, but I've always heard that if opal is not your birthstone, and if you wear one, you're pretty much cursing yourself because the stone is not meant for you. I mean, I've heard that through the years. How true that is, I don't know. I never even thought about it. We probably should have had Mike O on as well because he's the crystal guy.
Oh, that's right.
So he could have explained a lot of that. Yes, Mike O sells some amazing crystals. Actually, I plan on getting a moonstone from him. I just haven't done it yet. Carla was having an issue with her little one. But
Ooh. Moonstone is also for passion, energy, and for passion and energy as well.
Hi, Cheryl.
Moonstone's
Welcome.
nice. I like
I'm
moonstone.
drawn to moonstone.
And it's so pretty. Like again, like I've seen a couple online, and they had like blue tones and red tones in them as well.
Yep.
So pretty.
Very, very pretty. So as far as you, what kind of herbs do you use? What do you do with them?
So I use horsetail. And believe it or not, like with my cats, I use like organic catnip. I use, what else do I use? I use rosemary. And I also use oils as well. I love using frankincense, and I love using thyme, rosemary. I'm dealing right now, I'm trying to create a hair potion. So I'm dealing with a whole bunch of oils for that. But I do have a lot of oils as well.
Right. Fantastic. Supernatural. Actually, if you want to join us, you can just let me know. I just have to figure out how to send you the link, Dolly.
Yeah, absolutely.
They would just help us out more with general explanation.
The Norse. Yeah.
So unless I post it, let me see if I can do this. Hold on just a second. So if she wants to come on, because I don't have her in my friends list on Facebook. So let's see. I'll put it here. And then she could pop in that way. There you go. So if you want to join us, you can. So you can help explain and educate us on stuff that we're missing, because I didn't realize there would be different, I would
The
just
Norse
say,
pagan, yeah.
different kinds of, yeah, there's different kinds.
Yep.
I just figured it was a general group. So it's
Yeah, there's just so much out there, and there's white witches, there's black witches, there's just so much out there.
hello, hello.
Hello.
How are
Well,
you?
hello. I am good. Um, I hear, paganism, it has different branches, if you will. It's like a tree.
Okay.
We're all kind of family in a way, but Norse paganism follows its own path. Norse paganism is more about finding your own patron god, or they find you. Um, Based on your characteristics and personality and desires and wishes, would be very dependent on which god or goddess you pay tribute to. As far as spells go, I don't really practice magic, but there are factions of Norse pagans who do. Those are your oracles, um, or your priests. But baseline, it's just about finding your own path and forging your own way. Um, of course, you want to pay homage to your patron god. Say, if you're um, a wisdom seeker, you would probably choose Odin. Um, Strength and valor, you would go with Thor or Tyr. Um, but say you were a patron to Odin, you would go out into nature and leave something that you think he would like as a gift or on your altar. I have an altar. I light a white candle, and he has his own place on my altar where I leave a gift. With Thor, it would be like a shot of alcohol, some tobacco, or herb, um, because he's a party kind of dude, you know? So it varies.
Hmm.
But it's really mostly about the belief system of Norse paganism. They're very honor bound, very much about integrity, and um, they value honor above almost anything else. Um, the Norse pagans and Wiccans differ in one way. We rely on our oracles for that. As to my understanding, Wiccans are more magical. Um, we rely on nature and our gods to, guide us in those things. Because you get off, say, I go messing around with Native American magic, my god's going to step back and look at me and say, "You are an idiot. You've offended these other principalities or entities, and they're probably going to punish you, and I'm going to let them." They're very much about respecting the other gods in their own voice, kind of thing, if that
Interesting.
makes sense. Sorry, I'm coming home from work, and I
It's
just
all right.
happened to touch you, and I was like, well, Wiccan and Norse pagan are different in some ways, but
Mhm.
I believe that most pagans are family because we're all heathens and proud of it.
Now my next question is, what made you choose this religion?
I don't know that I chose it. I think it chose me. When I was young, I had a family. I was raised Baptist. I never quite fit in. Um, I had too many questions. if that makes sense. And every time I would ask these questions, they would get super offended at me. And I'm more a logical type, you know? And I never really fit in church or in that religion, so I was like, I don't fit here. And when I was little, I used to name my pets Norse names. I didn't even know they were Norse or what Norse was. Um, I named my dog Thor because there was a cartoon about Thor when I was a kid, you know, and Odin and all of that. And I grew up, and for some reason, throughout my life, I have always had a Norse pagan in my life, um, be it friend or relative. And the belief systems there fit and align with me as a person better than the religion I was raised in. I feel it. I don't know how to explain to you, but I know that my gods are real. I have a relationship there. And I know they know me and I know them, but I'm not saying I see people and stuff. Um, I mean, like, I have a spiritual relationship
Right.
with my gods. I think I would flip the heck out
Yeah.
if I were to see one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be a shocker. Hi, Chesa, darling. How are you? Hey, Noah. How are you? And let me see who else popped in while we were chatting. Jonathan,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome. Susan, how did you choose to choose this religion?
Um, I was brought up as Catholic, but I was forced into Catholic because I was raised with my elderly grandparents. So, I mean, I had to go to CCD and I had to go to church every Sunday. I actually have to say I got into black magic first. I wanted to know more about witchcraft. And during that time, I was going through a really hard time as it was. So unfortunately, I went towards that first. Um, but then, when I found out that, you know, karma gets you and it wasn't really working for me, that's when I reached out to my spirit guides and they kind of like guided me in this direction and, told me that I have to start looking around me, start being into nature and things like that. Then I learned more about Wicca. And I really like the fact that it is, we're naturists. We go out and we, pay attention to the earth and, we don't take anything for granted. We love what the earth has given us. And there's different types of Wiccans as well. Like some Wiccans, they don't necessarily they have certain gods. I believe in all god and goddesses, but they have certain gods. Some Wiccans, they work with crystals. Some do not. Some do spells. Some do not. So there's different types of Wiccans as well. But they're basically all like nature related.
Right. Carla, same thing, same question. What made you choose the Wicca?
I just more in tune with nature, like Susan was saying. I think a lot of it has to do with my background. So being Norwegian, I celebrate Yule and um,
Woo!
giving thanks and things like that. I was brought up Catholic, very strict Catholic, and kind of just the structure of it, I kind of deterred. Susan, I had some similar experience with like the witchcraft part in my 20s and messed around with stuff that I didn't know about. I was just interested in the whole like spells and things like that, but not anything bad. But it was when I was like exploring a ghost town and messing with stuff that I had a negative experience. And so I've totally turned that into like a more positive way of using my energy and um, I believe putting out in the universe you get back, and the Wicca part. I love apothecary, simmer pots, crystals. Amethyst is my favorite, and then the tiger eye for wisdom, and my other favorite is the smoky quartz. Um, there's one that I actually got at a gem show here in Montana that was found up in the tobacco root. So that one's pretty special. And yeah, so that's kind of how I've gotten into the Wicca part, but just reading more about how, um, like Susan was emphasizing on like the moon phases and the rituals and the charging the stones and using that kind of energy. So I'm still learning that part of it, but in a positive way.
I have a
Right.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was in my, I want to say early teens, being stupid, um, I had a friend who was Wiccan, and she was messing with Ouija boards. And I sat with her. I did not put my fingers on the thing. But she was also messing with black candles and
No.
hair, and I don't know what she did.
Mm.
But ever since then, I've seen a shadow thing. And I was kind of curious.
When you deal with
Um,
when you deal with people's like personal belongings, like, you know, typically like black magic, if you was to do a spell, you would take like a piece of their hair
Mm-hmm.
or a picture of them, and you would basically use frankincense, you would use the blood oil, to do the ritual. You would put it around the candle, which is typically black, and then that is basically a spell towards that person. So I
oh,
don't understand how they would consider themselves Wiccan if they were doing that.
she was going through some things and quite angry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
do
she
you?
asked me to sit with her while she did this because she didn't want to do it by herself. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but I don't want to um, do anything. I'm just going to sit here for moral support.
So was
Um,
she using hair from like a person that was alive that she was upset with?
yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. That's a hex.
Yeah, so she probably attracted something negative to you both that had an attachment,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't
Okay.
directed correctly.
That's
That's
awesome.
what I'm
Great.
thinking too. Yeah.
Great.
So do you
How do we
still
get rid
see
of it?
this negative entity? Do you still see it
Occasionally, right before
occasionally?
somebody dies. Like it
Oh,
usually shows up, I want to say about 3 days before somebody dies. I see it,
mm,
depending on how close to me it is.
okay.
That's how close that person is to me, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
there's Michael. We could have used you a second ago.
Hey, Michael. You
So
talk
is
about
this in
We're
crystals.
talking about crystals, sir. You have to fill us in.
is it in
Hi,
like
Joe West.
random areas with you though, or is it in your home? Or you just see it before somebody
Wherever
passes,
I am,
wherever you are. Okay, so it's an
Mm.
attached to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
attached to you. So you're gonna
it's
have
kind
to
of
do
like
a self
warning.
cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um, I really recommend holy water to start with and sage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
but
kind of prayer you use, but you can say prayer from the Bible. Definitely cleanse with the sea salt, like Susan was talking about. Do a self
like
cleansing. As long as
if
it's
I'm
not threatening you or anything like that, I don't think it's bad.
well,
But if you're
kind of
upset
like
with it and don't want it
warning,
around, I would do a cleansing and just
Yep.
but
You
ask.
like I
wanna What you want to do is you want to use sage. You want to burn it, and
Mm,
basically do like all your doorways. You want to do
Yep.
all your windows, all your nooks and crannies inside your place, closets, anywhere where it could hide or potentially
Right,
hide. You want to
corners,
get, yep, all
right,
those
top corners.
spacious. Yep.
Okay, my
I've moved
question is when
2,000 miles, and
when yeah, when she does say cleansing, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Oh, you're fine.
I've
Yeah.
heard when you do the cleansing, aren't you supposed to open up the east window so that after, as you're doing the cleansing, whatever is evil in the space will have an escape?
I
True?
mean,
No?
I don't think that's necessary. I think
No.
whatever it is, we'll just leave. I mean, it doesn't need like an exit.
Okay.
You know, you just don't want it coming into your home. You want it to leave because what you're doing is going to drive it out. It's not going to want to come back in, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
as
So
soon
no
as
more
she
just
starts doing it, it'll drive it
popping it
out,
right.
but you don't want it to be able to re-enter.
So no more sitting with friends while they're doing.
No, anything that has to do with somebody else, like, pieces of their hair, things like that, you really need to pay attention to that.
I was young and dumb and had no
Yeah,
idea, and
absolutely.
Right.
I was
Right.
like, okay, I'm just being a good friend, and then I end up with this shadow figure for 20 years.
Oh,
I guarantee
wow.
she's got one too that she probably doesn't see and you're more aware of it, or
She's no longer living.
oh, I'm
Right.
sorry. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Michael, no, not crystal magic, but we were just trying to
Yeah.
let everybody know what each crystal stands for, what kind of properties it brings to you when you carry them, or and stuff like that. Is what we were.
I know with us, with your stones, once you take hold of your stones and you cleanse everyone else's energy off of them, that I know it's frowned upon in my belief system, at least, for anyone else to handle your stones, because you don't know what someone has in them, and they could negatively charge your stones and throw off your whole thing.
Okay. I've also heard that to charge the stones with your own energy, you're supposed to sleep with them,
Yeah,
like under your pillow. Is that what you ladies do?
I've done that, yeah.
You can.
But that's
Or
really
at
not
least,
necessary.
I sometimes don't do that. I just hold it in my hand. I could either do it
yeah.
in meditation as well, but I basically just hold it in my hand and
Yeah.
kind of like just like meditate with it in my hand, like drawing it
Yeah.
energy into it.
Right. Carry it with you.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, Carla, hit them up with some questions.
Oh, you've got questions for me?
No, I want you to start shooting
Oh,
out some questions. You're always so quiet.
you're out of questions. Okay. Well, no, that's good. I was gonna ask Susan if she does do the simmer pots. Like, do you do your own oils and things like that as well? I just wanted to like tap
Yep.
into her use of the Wicca.
So I
What
do.
she likes to do.
I do a whole bunch of oils. I could do remedy face oil. I'm working on right now a growth hair oil. I do like perfumes. With the perfumes, there's some strong oils that I use that are a little bit doesn't smell too good. So I base it with like a strawberry oil or like a chocolate oil or something like that to cover the smell of the other oils. But I do that as well. Anything that I use for like hair growth or things like that, I also charge them up underneath the full moon as well.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I love using oils in different things.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
But I
I've been
also,
trying.
yeah, go ahead.
I've been trying not to push the gas very loud because I'm in a loud ass car.
Oh,
I'm just getting gas real quick. Sorry about that.
But I also do like little bags for people, like with crystals, like
Oh, nice.
because I have a big list of the crystals in their meetings, just to so I have it with me to specifically see what a person needs. So like if a person was like, I'm having a hard time focusing, or
Yeah.
having a hard time, health wise, I specifically look at the chart to see what crystal works for them. And then I charge it up. I bring good energy in for them. Then I put it in a little bag, and then they carry it around with them.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Mhm.
That's
That's
sweet.
nice. That's just
I need
that's a
friends
really
like
good
you.
idea. Yeah, I think that's great.
But no, in my luck, you'd be mad at me and like give me another shadow person.
Oh
No, no,
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
believe in,
That's
but no.
just
Yeah, I
ay
don't
ay
believe in putting
One
ay.
that
shadow
out.
person per person. Sorry.
Yeah, I would try that self-cleansing though first and
Oh,
see.
definitely.
Yes.
I was wondering, did that show up after your friend passed, or like after the thing that she did? Like, when did you
That
start
night.
noticing it?
Oh, that
That
night.
night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That
that's
And
makes sense.
that's
Okay.
scary. That's anything with you're messing with any personal items or
Mm-hmm.
attachments to an individual, and they're doing it in a ritual. It usually isn't for something good.
well,
Yeah.
I didn't have any kind of understanding when I was 16
Yeah,
Right.
and
because
with
like
myself as well. I was doing black magic as well when I was in my teens, so I had no knowledge what I was getting into as well. So I completely understand from where you're coming
Hi, Witch
from.
Master. Yeah. I was in my 20s, so I wasn't much older than you guys, but I learned really quick like I wasn't going to do that again cuz I had to do like a whole house cleansing and then I moved. I moved because it was that bad. So it was like I am not bringing this with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
Wow,
scary.
wow.
So
I got very angry with quote unquote God um
oh
in 2013 on May the 19th,
yeah.
and had been very angry with him for a very long time. Yes, that's a very specific date. I know.
I
Um,
mean, and again, I completely understand,
Mhm.
because I was going through a hard time as it was, when I was growing up as well. So I hated Christ or God because I was Catholic then, and that's why I went towards black magic,
Yeah.
to because I felt empowered. As much as dark that sounds, I felt empowered to be able to do things to other people. So I mean, it is what it is.
I actually find
Yeah.
that very interesting.
Mhm.
As far as candles go, what do the candles represent?
So white could be used for anything. Black is basically for new spells. It could be protection.
Yep, protection. I used that for my aunt when she got hit
Yep.
by a truck.
Green is used for money, obviously, prosperity.
Abundance. Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta get a bunch
Yellow.
of green.
Yeah, I know a lot of
Yeah.
people
Purple and
use the
green,
green.
Laura.
Yep.
Purple and
Load up on the
green.
green, guys.
Yep.
if you
Yep.
think
Yep.
about it,
Royal purple and green.
Yep.
white is like a neutral almost.
Yep.
It's like your intentions is it's
Yeah.
okay. It
Yep.
depends on your intentions whether it's
And you
good,
could
bad, or
even do
indifferent.
you could even do a money spell yourself as well. So what I use is a, 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 a I get like a bowl. You could use like a witch's brew bowl, or you could use anything, but it has to with the stand fire. And what you
Hmm.
could basically do is just take a green candle, or you could take a white candle, And basically, you could write on a dollar bill exactly what you want. And then you could set on fire the dollar bill. But again, you have to be sure that it's in a sealed thing and just let the dollar bill burn. And then just basically say a chant with that as well. On yeah,
And have you done this yourself?
I have. Shortly, the one time I did do it, shortly afterwards, I did win a scratch ticket. It wasn't that much, but
It worked.
it worked.
Cute.
Yeah. But
So,
again, you can't be, again, because the Wiccan
little-
practices is that you can't
Oh, that's
be,
cute.
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
that's what she's talking about. Little pot.
Yep.
It's my simmer pot.
Yep. That is awesome. So you can put the dollar bill in that and just let it burn completely.
And then, I'll show you, like, I've got a bunch of colors.
A lot of magic is intention based.
Right.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, I have
I
a
know.
lot of them as well.
Yeah, you can just get them off Amazon and stuff like that. They come like in a bulk. But I use them for rituals too, like Susan's talking about. Like I said, I used the black one because my aunt got hit and she was in the hospital and we didn't know if she was going to live. So I did a protection spell on her.
Have you tried reaching out to Freya?
No, I have not. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you may be Wiccan.
I love the Norse gods, but I don't know, because I was brought up strict Catholic and I believe in just God. I don't
You don't
I
have
know
to
it
be Norse
sounds like
pagan
bad, but I
to.
don't worship other god entities. Like,
Oh,
I just
okay.
love the stories and the mythology and stuff of it. I love
Right.
all that Norse mythology, but I don't, idolize other
It's not your
gods.
thing. I
Yeah.
got
Well,
you.
it's hard when you're brought up Catholic to believe in another God as it is, because you
Yeah.
were brought up
It
only
is.
believing in one God.
Yeah.
I
So that's
struggled
where
with
mine's
that.
kind of a little different, but
Right.
I know. I
Yes.
get you. You're good.
yeah.
But
Yeah. No,
for
I mean, I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love like Thor and Odin. Like, I always loved watching, Thor and stuff when I was younger,
Right.
like
Well, like
She-Ra and all
you
that.
said, the
Like, I
mythology
absolutely
is
love
very
that stuff.
interesting.
Yeah, and the the stories are just awesome. Like, I can't. What is the wolf's
the
name? Like,
sagas,
I
Fenrir,
can't.
that's my patron god. It's
Yeah,
funny
but
you
they're
brought
just
him up.
awesome stories. But
Fenrir is my patron. He's often misunderstood, but
hmm
um, I have a Fenrir pendant and I feel very close to him. But
yeah.
for those of you who may be wondering, you don't have to be Norse pagan
Oh
to
no, and it's special to you. So I mean, I honor that. So that's
to
awesome.
maybe reach out. Okay, let me try to explain this. With my gods, you don't have to be Norse pagan or practicing Norse pagan to reach out to them. Like in a hard time, like if you have someone you care for and they're sick or they're hurt or something is wrong, you can reach out to Freya and leave her like a bandage or something used for healing. That would be how you would beseech her. Or if you're looking for wisdom, you can go out into the woods and maybe leave an ink quill or a stone like amethyst or onyx, um, things like that for Odin and his
hmm
ravens. Ravens like shiny things.
Oh, yeah. I love
So
ravens.
maybe a coin.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's a beautiful thing. Like, what you're talking about is a beautiful thing.
Fenrir would be a scrap of meat or a piece of bacon or um, tiger's eye or like a strap of leather or a piece of steel,
Mm.
things like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Jay says, sorry, no offense. I'm just trying to understand, but why does the colored candle do anything apart from what it is made to do? There's no offense, Jay. That's why we're here. We're here to learn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Susan, you could probably answer that one. I'm sure.
Um, it's just basically the each color. And this goes even in the old like craft and witchcraft. It's each color symbolizes a meaning. So like we said before, green will symbolize money. It's not necessarily like each candle. It just using that colored candle because it symbolizes that actual what you're using it for enhances the spell. But again, like you could use white as well, because that's good for everything.
Right.
But it's just it brings more the candle and the color symbolizes the true meaning and it enhances the spell of what you're using it for.
Okay, so yeah, it's pretty general. What is the
Mm-hmm.
blue? What does blue stand for?
Calming,
Mm-hmm.
isn't
Okay.
it? Tranquility,
Yep.
peace.
Like the lavender as well, like the light pink lavender is calming as well.
Yeah. Susan, I always thought that like the colors kind of have to do with when you're doing the ritual and putting the energy into it, that the
Mm-hmm.
colors also have to do with your chakra colors, like purple for intuition, like the alignment of your chakra colors. That's how I kind of associated the candles, but
Yeah, I mean it
I'm a
kind
fair
of
amount.
references it does reference to the chakras as well.
Right.
But again, a lot of people basically represents just think of the colors matching what they wanted to use for, because of course green represents a green candle for money because money's green. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of people use the candles on what they want to do because of the colors. But yeah, chakras are really good as well. You always want to make sure that your chakras are in line as well. So it's best to go into meditations,
Right.
because once chakra that's off, it gives your self unbalanced.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wayne, yeah, his path takes him to the pub. Right on. A lot of people follow that path. Let's see. Jay, again, no offense, but what if you use a rainbow colored candle
Ooh,
like
like a
for a
for
birthday
birthday
cake?
cake.
That's
Good
cool.
question.
Wow. Well, a rainbow colored candle. I would say it's, for me, rainbow represents happiness, purity, um,
Harmony.
harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party.
I know somebody in the audience, I don't know who it was, but they were asking for a Pacific stones for arthritis and healing.
Oh.
Yes, that
Um,
was Pomp. Yeah.
yeah, I would probably go with rose quartz and emerald to start out, because I know emerald is for both of them are for healing, um, and calming. So I would definitely go with emerald and rose quartz. And if anybody wants, like, you could personally reach out to me, and I would definitely make you a little bag of stones and send
Oh,
it to you as well.
that's awesome.
Because again, I don't, there's so many crystals out there. I have to have basically, I have a list on actually what each crystal represents. But typically the four that I use is the ones I mentioned,
Right.
Can I
because they have
ask a
so
question?
different meanings. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Mike also suggests two other ones.
What has
Okay, rose
Hollywood,
quartz. Yes, yes.
what has Hollywood done to your face?
You'd have to say that again, sweetie. You're breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. What has Hollywood rendition of your religion done to your religion?
Did you hear what she said?
No, I
Hollywood?
didn't.
She wanted to know what Hollywood's rendition of your religion has done to your religion.
Are you talking like movies there? Like
Right,
the
right.
craft?
What they
Like the
put out, towards
Oh, like the
like that
different.
movie? Yeah.
Do you feel that has affected how you think of your religion? Is basically, I think, what she's
Well,
after.
I mean, in all honesty, you have to be really powerful in order to like do what's on TV. Like, I have heard, people actually can move things through
Whoa.
magic and things like that. But it hasn't really affected me at all with the magic. I don't know about you, Carla. Has it really affected you?
No, not really. I mean, I that was the one that I probably associated the most with was the craft because that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of when I was like, "Oh, I like this," and they portrayed a lot of negative with the witchcraft, but it just depends on like how you use it. Like, if you don't know what you're doing or if you're using it for the wrong reasons and
Yep.
like you put out negative, you're going to get negative, but there's
Right.
also like the positive part of it. So that's what I focus on. So I don't
Uh,
believe that I think it's still hard because you still gotta like defend yourself because when people find out that you practice or whatever, they think you're either weird or you're doing things for the wrong reasons or you're against God doing it. And I don't believe that at all. Like I
Mm-hmm.
am not against God when I like use my energy to guide myself using my tarot cards or doing like saying a prayer and doing a ritual candle for my aunt because she might not make it. I it's just your intent behind it.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, just like Andrew said, that is how the pentagram is always satanic
right.
in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Witchmaster says that Hollywood is run by Aramaic religions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I was getting tongue tied there for a second.
That's okay.
That's
That
okay.
was a
Now I
big
know
one.
Anthony
Tired.
that's Anthony that's on here. His wife actually sells crystals.
Oh.
They both sell crystals as well, so they have a good reference to crystals.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
So yeah, guys, go check that out if you're interested. And yeah, Mike said that his wife is more learned in the reasons behind and the meanings
Hmm.
behind each crystal that they sell.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah.
Uh, so you
I
guys could
would
also check
blow
them
all
out.
my money at the gem shows if I could.
Oh, so they're just
Just
so
because
beautiful.
I know I love them all, and I'm like, nope, I can't even go to one because I'll just want and like, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's
so many and they're so pretty.
yeah. Yeah. My first time I fell in love with amethyst geodes was at Yellowstone when I was younger. My dad took us to the gift shop and I saw this giant geode and he's like, "You can pick out something in the gift shop." And I was like, "Oh, that would be nice." But I got a little one instead and kept it forever. And then I was like, "One day when I get older, I'm going to buy myself a big one." And I did. Like 3 years ago, I went to a rock show and they had those giant ones. And it was like, I can't tell you guys how much I spent on it. But
I
I
can
was like, you know
imagine.
what? I'm just going to do it because I'm
Yeah,
already
those are
older. It
beautiful.
it is gorgeous. It's purple, but it's got like a brown tint to it too. So I call it my
Mm-hmm.
root beer, purple root beer. But it's like it sits in my room, and I love that geode so much. They'll get handed down to my kids.
Hmm.
Yeah, my amethyst geode, but I
Yeah,
love
very
gemstones.
expensive.
Hmm. They're so fun. It's like my favorite thing souvenir shopping is to go to the big gem stores.
Yeah, I just have a place that I specifically go and
Okay.
they sell it in bulk, all
Oh,
my crystals and my oils.
oh,
Um
nice.
because again, you have to be careful,
Hmm.
particularly if you buy crystals, you have to be careful that they're not glass and
Right.
they're legit.
Yeah, they do the light test on the geodes
Mhm.
for you, so you know if they're real or not. But
Right.
yeah, I was gonna ask Susan, like, where you get like your oils and stuff from. Like, do you have a specific company that you would recommend to people so you know you're getting legit stuff that's not like going to Walmart and getting the oils on the shelves that you're like, I don't know if those are like chemical based and you want something pure when you're using it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I get my herbs and my oils from it's called a pockathy.
Okay.
I could put it in the link, or send it out or put it on my page. But I generally get my herbs and my oils from there. And then I get my crystals from this vendor that is a close friend of mine as well, which I could also share out. But those are the two places that I mainly get them. A lot of people they've been getting their stuff from Temu,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
know
See,
of a lot, like it's particularly the opals. I heard that they're basically glass that they
oh,
sell,
yeah.
so you have to be careful. I mean, I know that there's a Pacific app as well, but you have to pay for it. That identifies the crystal of either being fake or real.
Oh,
So
good.
they have apps as well.
Nice. Those are all really important things for people to know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
All right. Well, especially if it's something that they're interested in, then yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Mike says mineral identification is sometimes tricky, but exposes geological methods is also a definite. So yeah, I mean, I mean, it is. You really got to do your research to know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that it's such an important thing in what you guys are doing, that it's something you need to educate yourselves on. Let's see. Been listening while making cookies, taking a quick non-sticky hand moment to ask how much you ladies are self-taught.
So I actually, because I'm the co-founder of Central Mass Paranormal Society. When I first joined the group, the founder, a very good friend of mine, was actually pagan. She was pagan. She kind of combined Wiccan and pagan together. So she had like, I got majority of the stuff from her, like books and she actually taught me Wicca, and she taught me, she actually showed me the websites on getting the oils and herbs and everything. So she taught me what I needed to know. And then from there, I branched off and taught my own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Same thing, Carla. I mean, you were self-teaching, or I mean,
Yeah, mine's mostly self-taught, like just from reading and learning by experience, and then hearing from other people too and what they do. So yeah, mine's been mostly self-taught. I don't have a group like Susan does, which, I think would be neat. Like, I have a girlfriend here that's into the same stuff I am. So I've kind of been a magnet to other women that are interested in that same stuff too. So it's just weird, like you'll draw in people that have similar interests in the Wicca part of things. So my friend, she does how do you say it? Reiki? Am I saying it right?
Reiki. I
Susan?
want to get
Reiki?
into Reiki, actually.
I was gonna
Energy.
ask if you
Yeah.
did that.
No,
Yeah.
I actually want to start taking classes from it because I got a bunch of comments saying that I would be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So Reiki is just basically taking your own energy and using it to heal people.
Right.
So I was actually looking into taking classes.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to classes somewhere locally for that, or
Actually, the website that they have tons of classes from, because I
Uh-huh.
do take a lot of classes, is Udemy, Udemy.
Okay.
And they have tons of classes from animal communication to Reiki they have tons of classes. You do have to pay for them, but they average about $10 to like $25.
Okay. Not bad.
And they have tons of classes. That's generally where I go. I'm going to be taking animal communication soon.
Nice.
So I want to learn on that.
My question is, all right, doing the Reiki thing, don't they also use crystals during that?
They do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's all got to do with your
crystals.
chakra and all of that.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
all. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, okay. Sam says that he's glad he's popped in. He finds this fascinating. First read up on Celtic and pagan things as a teen, but never pursued beyond that. Still holds a fascination though. Yeah, because it is fascinating because not a lot of people know what's going on.
Right.
So, and there's a lot of misconception about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured this would be the best way to, get information out there. And
I know. Yeah, yeah. I absolutely grew up on Charmed, the series.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Absolutely
one.
love them. And I still watch them to this day.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
Mm-hmm.
so, it's curiosity, and there's no harm in asking these questions and trying to figure this stuff out.
Right. Yeah.
Because like I said, Hollywood and all the TV shows, they always put out,
Oh,
Yep.
it's always the negative. And,
Yeah.
I don't see all of this being, negative. If you're just doing, nature,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right.
I mean, me, exactly myself, I do believe in one creator, but, I mean, if you're just doing, like you said, it's nature, you're celebrating nature, there's really no harm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It just said the common misunderstanding is the Norse pagan is Viking when Viking is a job title. Back when they raided Norse, were the people, not the job. Viking literally meant they went out and raided and fought. See, but that's the thing. They refer to that group of people as Viking. They're Vikings. Maybe, I don't know. Well, no, because even
I think that's like where it originated, though. So maybe that's why they think that like Norse is Viking, because it originated in that region.
So, yeah. So pretty much, like you said,
But
it was their
Norse
job.
meant all north, yeah.
They were warriors. So that's, and Vikings, and it stood for, the strength and all of that of the people. So it's
Yeah. So Susan, like, when and how did you learn to see auras?
It just honestly,
come about?
it just came to me. I didn't, once I got into like reaching out to my spirit guides, and once I knew that I had abilities, once the empath started coming through and everything, that's when I started. It's like I could see someone from far away and see their auras. It just basically came to me. But that also, it didn't, before that I went into all these like meditation sessions as well to open up my third eye.
Nice.
Because that's very important as well. But you could also feel the energy as well.
Yep, that's true.
So yeah, Pop says, I believe we all have guardian angels, a spirit guide, and an animal spirit.
Absolutely. I definitely have at least 2 spirit guides that I have connected with. And my spirit animal, I'll call him as a polka. So she changes, she's a rabbit, but she could get bigger, she could get smaller, she could change colors, and she could actually change forms as well. Those are the 3 that I basically have found. Now, just recently, this shadow of a man has come forward, like in front of my Native American spirit guy. So I haven't exactly connected with him yet, but I know that it's going to be a new path for me because they feel that I'm ready to succeed to a new path. So I'm dying to see if the spirit guy actually comes forth and let me see him and let me know who he is, and, me working with him. So that's interesting.
All right. My question is, how do you find your spirit guide or spirit animal?
So you have to go into meditation. You have to be open-minded. You have to definitely do meditation to get your third eye open. If you don't know how to get your third eye open, there's lots of frequency meditations that's on YouTube that specifically goes through the sessions with you on how to open your third eye. It's different tones of frequency, and it's about 20 to 30 minutes. You could just look that up on YouTube. So you would just go into deep meditation, and what you could do is you could imagine that you're in a forest and you're just walking through a path, and all of a sudden you come across like a cottage or something, and you're curious and you want to open up the door of the cottage, and then you just take it from there. And then once you open up that door, you may see a figure, or you may not see anything in the beginning, because spirit guides want to make sure that you're ready to see them before they present themselves to you. So you may have to do that several times before you open that door and you actually see, either you see a spirit guide, it could be a spirit animal, it could be your past loved ones, but it takes time to get to that step.
Okay. All right. Have you found your spirit guides or animal, Carla?
I know what mine is, but I didn't go through the process like Susan did. I was actually with a psychic doing a reading and saw him, and he is an older man, like in his 50s, that is Celtic druid. So he wears like a cloak kind of like Susan's, and he's always here. He's always like, I can feel him sometimes, or sometimes I'll get glimpses of him, but it's like not common that I see him that often. But it was during that session that I was awakened to that and saw this man in the room with me.
So do you actually go into meditation to try to connect with him?
No, I haven't done that yet. And so it's kind of cool that you said that, because I never really thought of like actually opening back up to him. Like, I've just been so busy with things in my life, and I think like being able to connect with him and ask him things too, like, would probably be very helpful for me, because
I think because he's been around you and he's been right in back of you, I think he definitely wants you to open up and reach out to him.
Yeah, I think he's a wonderful, wonderful person to have. Like, I feel very loved by my spirit guide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
It's that gave me pins and needles just saying that. Like, my skin's tingling right now. It's really weird.
Because supposedly you have a spirit guide surrounding you. So you have one in the front for protection, then you have your two sides, and then you have your rear, and then you have your spirit animal guide.
Okay. So he's my left is the only one that I know of right now. I didn't know there was others. See, I'm learning things too, but
yeah, so pretty.
I didn't know there was more than one. I know there's been times where something has helped me through situations where I've almost died. Like, so I don't know if it was him or the protection one, maybe, has been there with me. Like, because I know like something's helped me through those situations.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I didn't know anything about the animal. That thing is really cool. I
met my animal, and I met my Native American spirit guide, but I haven't met the others, except now that I'm starting to get an image of this gentleman coming forth. So he may be either sides or my back. But I actually got a reading done as well not too long ago, and they said that he's associated with a pasture of horses.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
but spirit
like
guys,
old souls. Yeah.
But they're interesting because they don't allow somebody else to come forth, another spirit guide, until you're ready for that process. So you may only see him for the time being, and then when he thinks you're ready, then he'll bring forth the other ones.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
That's interesting. Interesting. Andrew says he just meditates on my Lady Athena. That's the name of my German Shepherd. She's named after my German Shepherd's named after Athena, the goddess Athena. So that's pretty neat.
Right.
Yes, because she's good for guidance, but she's also when I read it, she's the goddess of war and wisdom. So. And that's my dog. She's crazy. Not afraid of anything.
It fits her. It fits her
Yeah,
name for
it fits
sure.
her
She is like
100%.
fearless dog.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Um,
Susan, do you go out in the woods and do any rituals too? Like, do you have like a special place in your house, but do you also go out in the woods and do it? Because I've always wanted to go out and actually do some kind of rituals out there, but not, not anything bad. Please don't associate anything I say ritual with bad, okay?
I actually, where I live, we actually have woods right in back.
Okay.
So I just take walks. I mean, it's not like a large amount of land, but so there's this one Pacific huge rock, and I sit on it and I just meditate right there. And I just, say what I'm thankful for, or just put it out there to the earth. But I don't necessarily don't do rituals or any. I just mainly you would call it chants.
Okay.
But I don't do any rituals out in the woods.
B Squared says, Victoria, your spirit guides sound like a special forces squad. I love that image.
They are. I mean, everybody has them. You just have to open up and let them in. But everybody has spirit guides.
So yes, that's great. So now everybody knows how to access that. That, I mean, we got try it out. Yeah, Mike says that rituals have their place and time.
Right.
Yeah, and it is. You'd have to find a quiet place somewhere where
you do. You
would,
can't
would
be
interrupt.
disturbed. Yeah, yeah, you can't be disturbed.
Yeah, well, yeah, because of what you're doing. It's just. I think that would ruin the whole thing is if you had people wandering around going, "Hey, what are you doing?"
What I also do sometimes too is right before bed, I just get really comfortable, just have some meditation music on, and right in the stage before you fall asleep, you could kind of go into meditation and speak with your spirit guide as well.
Hi, Tim. How are you doing?
Hi, Tim.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I used to do a lot of meditation when I was younger. The older I got, the less time I had for it. But it does bring a calming to you.
It's hard with everything that's going on with everybody's life. You work, you have to take care of family. It's hard. It's hard.
So that's great. I want to get back to the oils that you use. Is there a specific oil for specific things, or is it just whatever personal choice?
No, it's basically like the crystals. Each oil represents something. Usually the typical oils that are used is frankincense, myrtle, rosemary. You can use lemon, rose petals. Let me think other ones that I use. Geranium. Those are typically the most useful ones. Lavender, of course. But yeah, it's different oils. They're kind of like crystals. They're used for different things.
So okay, Cheryl has a question. She says, "Does it make a difference where you do a ritual?"
It just has to be a place that is clean, not like cleaning the house type of thing, but just it has to be your space. It has to be somewhere where you won't be disturbed, and just like your own little private area.
Kind of like when you do if anybody knows anything about reading tarot cards, you should have a specific space in your home just dedicated to that.
Right.
Where nobody touches everything and it's just a quiet little, spot.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that pretty much would be the same thing, correct?
Correct.
Now, in the Wicca religion, do you do a lot of tarot, Susan?
I don't do as much as I used to. I do want to get back into tarot, but I also want to start using my crystal ball that I got. I want to start using that as well. Right now I have it covered, but I want to start using that as well because basically that's like a scryer mirror. They're typically both used the same way. So I do want to start using that as well.
Okay. When you were doing tarot readings, did you have the crystal ball out um, during the readings, or you didn't use it? Because some do use it. It's as a cleansing. It's the same like if you would use just a
Yeah.
quartz.
No, I didn't have the crystal ball out when I was doing it. I think I got the crystal ball after I started actually working with the tarot cards, and I keep those two separate.
Okay. How about you, Carla? Because I know that you're doing the readings.
Yep, I have mine out. They're in their specific space.
Space.
So yeah, I do have a crystal.
Okay.
ball.
Witchmaster General says that the state of mind is just as important.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Your intent.
So yeah, pretty interesting. Does anybody have any other questions? Carla, do you have any other questions?
No, I think Susan answered a lot of them. I think what they're saying is like when you're doing a reading and all that, your state of mind is really important too. Like, be very open to receiving. And it's hard if your mind's like in a lot of different places at once. It's hard to focus on what specifically you're asking your tarot cards or what you're doing in your ritual and stuff. So it's really important to go into it, maybe meditating first, huh, Susan? Like just balancing yourself and then going into it, because yeah.
Right. Same thing. Well, tarot. Yes, each individual card has a specific meaning, but there's more to the reading than that. You always go with what your intuition is telling you for the full reading,
Right.
not by each individual card. So they would be the same as following Wiccan rituals. There's more to just the one specific thing. It's a whole that you're dealing with. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any more questions for Susan or any of us at all? Even just, not just Wicca. It could be just, maybe paranormal questions, whatever you guys want to shoot out at us. Because Susan also does paranormal investigations. So she's not just all about the Wicca.
I know, and not all about the Wicca. And I actually do have, I'm starting to make necklaces as well with crystals in them. So if anybody, have a particular crystal that they want to wear around their necks, let me know.
Wonderful. So I don't see any questions popping up. So I think we've answered everybody's curiosity, which is fantastic.
Yeah, this was a great live, honestly. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, I'm glad. I figured, because, last time we got in trouble last Sunday. So,
oh my God. Yeah.
Overused his videos, a little whiner.
I was dying with that one. I was absolutely.
We will be doing it again next Sunday, so don't worry about it, guys. But this is the time that Susan had, so we squeezed her in. Let's see here.
I loved it. Thank you, Susan.
Andrew says, I have an investigation coming up where the guy is seeing shadow people and hearing voices. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Hopefully he's not pulling your chain.
Protect yourself too, just in case.
Yeah. Bring those crystals with you.
Yeah. Let's see. Mark says, I don't know if this has already been asked, but do you implement the moon phases with any special spells?
Again, if you want to charge anything up, if you have crystals, if you have a potion you want to charge up, you do it in a full moon. If you want anything new to be brought into your life, you want to do it with a new moon. If you want to get rid of anything, you want to do it in between.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, I really don't care if we got in trouble. It was just fun. We had a blast.
Yep.
And we'll be doing it again next Sunday. Carla's going to pick something fun,
crazy.
and we'll be poking fun.
Yeah,
That
we
was
just won't
absolutely
run.
hysterical.
We
I
won't
have
run
to
the whole
stay up.
day.
I have to stay up to watch you guys because it's
Oh,
just that last one was so funny.
it
Oh
was
my
the
god.
stick people. The
Yes, it
stick
Jeez.
was
people got
so
me.
funny when he like slammed that up. It was just it was crazy.
I
Yeah.
had to pick on it. I'm just gonna have to break it up a little bit more so that we don't get timed out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
skip around a little bit.
Yeah, Andrew says he's a schizo affected through, although on medication.
Oh,
So that's probably just medicated sightings pretty much. That's the problem when you're dealing with somebody that's on medication or has some
You have
kind of
to, yeah.
mental disorder.
yeah.
That's what you got to deal with. So it's
Mm-hmm.
probably not what's going on.
Mm,
Uh, let's
That's
see here.
unfortunate, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the fakers will like exploit people that are
Oh,
dealing with,
definitely,
and
definitely.
that's awful.
Like what is those? Was it the Foreman brothers?
Mm-hmm.
It's them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just pulling the bullshit over, and people are. That's just
That's
so wrong. And
crazy.
I'm glad that Beardo and them have called him out on it because it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
That's just wrong. Yeah. I don't get it.
I have forwarded Jeff's questionnaire to him.
That's good, Andrew. Jeff would be a good one to ask, him and his wife.
Oh
Right,
yes,
right.
definitely.
Actually, yeah, I just referred somebody to him as well, because of
Oh,
his, because him and his wife have the expertise
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and the residential. I mean, I've done some, but not like they have done. I try to stay away from residential because it's a long-term commitment.
Mm.
He said that the
Mm.
guys did contact the Foremans as well, and then he called me. Oh my goodness.
I would go in and do it first, Andrew, and then and see what's going on with it. Because if the
Mm-hmm.
foreman's going and the guy is having mental issues already, it could escalate things. Hopefully, they
Mm-hmm.
don't mess with
Yeah,
that guy.
Carla's right.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Yike.
Foreskin's
Yeah, the
Ay, ay,
Foreskin
ay.
brothers. I'm sure people like to call them a few other things too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame because I used to watch them a lot until I started catching some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else started debunking them. I'm thinking, yeah, I knew it. I just knew it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like anything TV related.
Yeah.
Mm.
He said, he has done some research on them at my request.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. You got it's very hard. And if you don't have the time to commit to the people, then you shouldn't do it.
Yep. Yeah. Do you guys think you can believe anything TV related that's paranormal that says like blah 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 TV series? Do you think
Yeah.
they're just doing it for entertainment, or do you think some of it's legit?
My answer would be entertainment.
Yeah, I actually know a friend of mine that got offered to be in a TV series, Paranormal Investigating, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the contract that they wanted them to sign definitely stated that they need to make it enjoyable, meaning they have to fake.
Oh.
So they turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's ratings. So
Yeah.
they have to bullshit it up so it makes people watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Let's see here. Any more? Yeah, Ghost Wing to say, yeah, if it's on TV, it's fake. Oh yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well,
It is. Mark says, yeah, any residential investigation should be done by qualified investigators that are professional,
right.
insured, in my opinion. They could do so much damage, and you are so right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you see it. Yeah, that's showbiz, folks.
Showbiz.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, people take it as it's written in stone. Oh no, it was real.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yep. I know one TV series that's coming up to Montana here pretty soon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, great.
Are you going to be running through in the background screaming, "They're fake! They're fake!"
If I knew maybe what date they were coming up, I think the guy would be pretty pissed at me. But you know,
I know they're full of
would
shit.
report it.
That's fun.
Just kind of cringy. I'm gonna use that word, my daughter's word. It's
There you go,
cringy.
cringy.
Yeah.
Andrew said, "Yeah, I'm basically going to go in and do a home inspection to start with." Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Get a feel for it. See if the guy's, well, pulling one over on you.
Yeah, it might take a few days to figure things out too, Andrew. So
Yeah.
don't rely on the first day. You know.
So yeah, no, that's why I steer away from it, because you just don't know what you're getting involved with.
Yeah.
Tim, yeah, you're right. Just like wrestling. Oh no, wrestling's
Wrestling
real.
is
I think
real.
we just bursted a lot of bubbles.
You mean they don't jump on each other?
No, it's real.
Those
When they
slammings?
they slam someone on the concrete, that's real.
Yeah, they look brutal.
They don't get injured.
Mm-mm.
That's all a bunch of crap. So excuse me. Thanks everybody for joining us. We had a great time. Thank you, Susan, for educating us.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Susan.
Carla,
Yeah.
for always being my co-host, our lovely co-host,
thank you.
Carla.
I
And
love Susan.
it was definitely an education, and I'm glad you shared it with us. And just to say, we didn't do this to change people's mind about what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
As far as their religions go, we just did this so that people could be educated on what isn't true about the Wiccan religion. It isn't evil. It's a true it's a very old religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the devil. So you guys could all sleep better at night, I hope.
Yeah, thank you all.
Also, everybody, please don't forget, go over to Andrew's page, the community page.
Mhm.
Guys, donate to his GoFundMe. Andrew is in some deep shit and needs everybody's help. And I would really appreciate it. And I'm sure he will as also. Even if it's 50 cents, every little bit helps. And Andrew, please keep us posted on what's going on, and we'll keep you in our prayers. Until then, guys, we'll see you Wednesday on Raw Side. But here, we'll see you next Sunday on Chick Chat. Until then, everybody have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.